If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
So tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern is the State of the Union. President Biden is going to address a joint session of Congress at the United States Capitol.
This
9
is
o'clock.
much later than normal, though, right?
It's always late, but I feel
thought
like
it was normally. No, I meant like in the year. I thought it was normally in end of January.
Well, if it's past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know they're going to have to dope him up so much to get him to even be able to stand up there. And the State of the Union's always so stupid. It's not. It never was supposed to be a show like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a show.
Yeah,
I'll wait
it
for
was
the
just supposed to be
highlights.
a letter from the president to Congress going, "Hey, here's what's going on my end."
Yeah.
If they
And that
could
was
just
it.
limit the applause, I think if they cut down the applause to just keep it to 10 seconds, then it would go faster.
I think they
but
should
it seems
say
to go on so
All
long.
applause should be held until the end.
Yeah, I mean,
It's ridiculous. And they've all got notes as to when you're supposed to applaud, when you're supposed to stand, all that kind of stuff. It's all choreographed.
And I
there.
think there should be an official air horn operator, so every time the president lies, they can wah.
that would be great.
make it exciting television. That's what you
Come
want
on.
to do.
I turn this economy around.
That would be awesome.
Today's National Cereal Day, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is because it's kind of been in the news lately, especially the last week. The CEO of Kellogg's, saying that, if money's tight, try eating cereal for breakfast, and was universally, well, maybe not universally, but it seemed that way, slammed for saying that's not the solution to higher grocery prices.
Yeah.
But that's why he was on television. He was going to, it was in preparation for National Cereal
And it's
Day.
just because he's rich that people got mad at him.
Yeah.
But he's saying, hey, I don't know, I sell cereal. Here's an idea. Buy some more cereal. That's what he's supposed to do. There's nothing wrong with what he said.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, his beliefs and the beliefs of that company and all. They fuel that kind of response from people. Because of their politics.
Oh. Mm-hmm. We're looking at you, Count Chocula.
Is that Kellogg's?
I don't know. It's just funny to say. And by the way, I forgot to mention, during the State of the Union address, President Trump is also in the news because he says he's going to be doing a live play-by-play on Truth Social.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Correcting the record, I think is what he says in this long post. So he'll be, basically live tweeting for the State of the Union address. So that might be something fun to watch. But the biggest story yesterday in the news was the Rust armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, being found guilty of manslaughter. Yeah. This is obviously in relation to the death of Elena Hutchins, who was working on the set of the movie Rust, starring Alec Baldwin, when Alec pointed the gun during preparation for the scene, fired it, and it killed a woman working on the set.
And the armorer is the person responsible for that weapon, right?
Correct.
That is the person who, when it's ready, when the armorer hands it to the actor, the armorer supposedly tells the actor it's blank or whatever. Yeah. So that is whatever was in that gun, whether he pulled the trigger or not, whatever was in there that fired and hit her, that is the responsibility of that person.
Yeah, so Alec's still on the hook for something.
Sure.
So we'll find out what his fate is going to be, but it looks like she's going to be doing about 18 months in prison. They took her right into custody. So those are just a few things that are now trending. Oh, and it's my turn again. It's more me. Get used to it. So what are some difficult things that you've dealt with in new relationships? We call them the hard no's. Got a lot of answers on social media. We'll get to them next.
Missed part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
All guests of the Ace and TJ show stay at the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. Beautiful rooms, incredible dining options. Book your room by calling 980-299-7123. It's the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
It's fun seeing celebrities do normal things, to me anyway. When you see, like when Wendy Williams was shopping around Walgreens in like a big wig and her nails done and her hair and her makeup on, I thought that was fascinating internet content to see this woman walking around Walgreens like looking for Q-tips. There's something about that that's interesting to me. And this is equally as interesting, even though it shouldn't be. Ben Affleck, his wife, what's her name? Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
At Dune 2, you might have seen this video. It's been on TikTok and Twitter and places like that. They go see Dune 2 at like a regular movie theater. They don't rent out the movie theater or anything. And when the movie's over, 2 hours and 45 minutes later, that's what they're doing. They are leaning down, taking their trash with them, picking up maybe some popcorn kernels off the floor, collecting their empty soda cups.
What you're supposed to do in a theater.
What you're supposed to be doing. It's kind of, I guess maybe it's a little odd that they didn't rent out a whole theater to themselves, but it's fun. I don't know. I don't know why.
But maybe all the people in the theater were friends of theirs and stuff.
True. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. This guy in the Earnhardt hat, though.
No.
It might not be.
No.
Maybe he is.
He probably borrowed that from Ben.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me wear your Earnhardt hat.
I got it at a vintage store on Beverly Hills. But I don't think I could be with somebody that leaves a huge mess anywhere they go, but a movie theater is one of them. That is like, you know what? I'm giving somebody else a job. That's
Right.
their job
Just
to
drop
do.
it on the floor like people used to do.
And you hear that all the time. It's
says
like, well,
a lot
I'm giving
about
them
the
a
person.
Yeah, I hate that attitude. It's, well, that's what they're paid to do. Okay, yeah, right. But does that mean you get to just forego all standards
Yeah.
and practices because somebody gets paid to fix your errors for you?
There are also people paid to clean up the bathroom at the movie theater, but you don't go in there and just use the bathroom on the floor.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, right. Yeah, it happens, but that shouldn't be the norm. So I don't think I could be with somebody that leaves just a huge mess and has that attitude or that thinks like, oh, you know what, somebody else is going to take care of it. We probably aren't going to have that much in common.
And same thing with putting up the grocery cart in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's a good example of
Yeah.
that. It's similar situation.
And throwing aluminum cans out the window when you finish with a beer of the car.
Yeah.
Somebody will get it.
I was walking down the street the other day, walking the dog in the suburbs, and I was like, there was a Monster Energy can, and I was like, you know what? Somebody who drinks Monster would throw their can out. I said that to myself. I don't know what that even means, but it irritated me.
As it should.
Yeah, I hate littering. That's so bad. But what are some hard no's for you in relationships? The more unusual ones. We know guys that have multiple children through many, many different women is going to be a red flag or a hard no for a lot of people. But the more unusual ones are the ones we're looking for. At the Ace TJ Show, we'll get your answers next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities, and we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Attention Charlotte, treat yourself to a delicious meal that's made with fresh, seasonal ingredients and ready in just 20 minutes. Enjoy a fine dining experience without ever leaving your home. Head over to tableandtwine.com.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
Live Each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.
So there was this video out, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez cleaning up their area after they went to go see Dune 2. Looking very casual, looking happy. But yeah, I like that they pick up their own trash and don't expect somebody else to do it for them. And the comments to it were great. It's hard to fathom, simply going about your daily routine and seeing something like this. It's like, what does that mean? You saw celebrities.
There's two people that went to the movies.
They're just doing normal things, but it's people's reaction to it that's so funny. But I don't think I could be with somebody that didn't clean up their space like that. What is a hard no for you? The more unusual ones. We know about people that have money problems, tons of debt, and things like that.
I'm sitting here thinking about how beautiful Jennifer Lopez is, right? And if I were single and there was an opportunity to date Jennifer Lopez, and she said that she loved those types of movies, and she wanted us to go to those types of movies, that's a deal breaker.
That's a hard no.
That's a hard no for you.
Go sci-fi, futuristic, with a crazy leftist theme or any of that stuff.
It's a sci-fi political thriller.
Yeah. Right. So
that's not up your alley?
No, thank you.
The Marxists are all aliens in this one. But there's people at the Ace TJ show on social media. What is your hard no, the more unusual ones? There's a lot of answers to this, and some of them you would expect. Like if they're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, it's like got a lot of laughs. And if they've got multiple children through different women, that might be a red flag. But some of these, like one of the top comments comes from a woman named Gina. She says, it's a hard no if they make mouth noises.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She said breathing is acceptable.
Breathing is acceptable. Mouth noises, though. But you see that popping up, especially on TikTok a lot.
What would mouth noises be?
Like smacking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was a girl. She
clicking.
Was like, is my boyfriend making a lot of noise eating these chips? And he's just sitting on the couch, like putting his hand in the back. She goes, it's driving me insane. So I guess you're just not allowed to make any kind of noise if you want a woman to be happy anymore.
There's an unusual one here. A lady named Shauna says, calling me ma'am, even in private. And the very next comment is from a lady named Amanda who says, my favorite place to be called ma'am is in private.
Oh.
What?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
So she's saying she doesn't want her boyfriend or husband calling her ma'am?
Would that mean if she says something, are you going to take that trash out? And he goes, yes, ma'am.
Oh, I think that's kind of like tongue-in-cheek. Like,
and
sometimes it could be, sarcastic as well. Like, oh, yes, ma'am. Like, you're my boss now, I guess.
Yeah, that's happened in my house a couple times.
But either way, how about the other one having to turn it sexual though?
I know that's
gross.
a weird turn.
Yeah,
gross.
Please call me ma'am.
Yeah. There's a lot of these. If you're an obnoxious Alabama fan.
Is that an oxymoron though?
I don't know.
Do we get Eagles fans too?
Or is it redundant?
Yeah, maybe. So there's something new we're launching today. I don't know if we've even talked about it on the show, but as you know, we've got 2 new projects happening, and I've got to fill you on something major happening next week. So we'll do that next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
As winter packs its bags and spring settles in, the flowers, they are blooming. And at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress, the deals are booming.
You write poetry?
Does one ask a fish if it swims, or a bird if it flies? It was a long winter.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, with up to $1,500 in free furniture with the purchase of a mattress sleep system. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So there's something that's happening soon. It's happening on social media. I got to fill you in here in just a second. But they're saying that Travis Kelce is headed to Singapore to meet up with Taylor.
Yeah.
And that his manager is going with him too. Does he run the risk of looking too like now chasing her around? Chasing her around the globe?
I don't think so, because it's just like he spent the whole year being locked, their whole relationship, essentially, he's been locked into football because they started dating right before training camp opened up.
Yeah.
So now he's free to be able to get out, and she's got this, so she flew over to see him, he's flying over to see her. I don't think it makes him look like he's chasing. Like, oh, I got time. I'll just check it out.
But I think it was well established from the very beginning that he's the submissive one.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's the heavy-handed one in that.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
Absolutely.
does it look like he's just a little?
The
man's
wearing friendship bracelets with their names on them. I mean, this is a tough professional athlete in the toughest sport in the world.
Yeah.
And he's putting on little friendship bracelets that say Taylor and Travis. I mean, come on.
TJ's hung up on the friendship bracelets. He has a hard time with the friendship bracelets.
Because it says everything you need to know about that relationship.
He's in touch with his emotions. Is that what it says?
No, it means he's giddy and like a little girl to be dating such a huge star. Like, he's. Well, I don't want to say the way I would say it off the air, but he's her. You know what?
I love that. Yeah. I mean, I don't love it, but that's. Yeah, I kind of got that vibe. I don't know. I just want to be the way I try to be. I try to be cool, and I'm not able to be cool. But you want to be a little cool, a little bit distant. Now they've been dating for a while, so it's not like it's the early stages. But I don't know. You want to seem a little.
Yeah, she will make him cry in public one day.
You think?
Yeah.
Dang.
Right.
I mean, he cries all the time, so.
But see, like this, he should have just stayed strong. Said, "I'm not coming to Singapore now. I would go help you if you were going to learn to Singapore. That's where you need to go." Just to establish a little bit of backbone.
Yeah. Listen, we are now in the second week of these two new projects. We've got TJ's podcast that streams at 9. We've got Ace and Friends that streams at
10 Eastern.
At 10. Ace and Friends that streams at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So make sure you go like and follow all the social media channels. We've got TJ's podcast. We have Ace Cannon Media over there for all of Ace's content, plus the Ace and TJ show. So that all remains the same. And hey, listen, if you want to throw me a follow as well, Rob, I'm doing a promo here for social media.
Sneezing in the microphone.
And TechD_Rob. Thanks. So follow everything, like everything, and that's all I got.
The hottest trending topics, what you need to know now. Trending is coming up next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime, thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.
Bradham Brothers offers heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. Their family business has served thousands of customers with honesty and a smile for over 50 years. Go to bradhambrothers.com to schedule service or a free estimate today.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
Oh, yeah. So it was in the news earlier this week that they're rebooting Baywatch and things like that. Pamela Anderson says she's not interested in the reboot.
Thanks, Pam.
I kind of had the same opinion. It's like, well, I don't know that they were looking for you. I mean, I'm sure they would probably love to have her on.
I'm sure they wanted her to do a
for you.
cameo.
Sure.
Yeah.
but I don't know that they're not beating down her door. I think they'll be fine. And I love Pamela Anderson. I mean, I grew up at the time when Baywatch was at its height in the early '90s, and I remember thinking, God, that is just an unbelievable thing to see on television. But I've also seen Nicole Eggert say, like, I would love to do it if they can make space for me. So Baywatch was a little already adults.
Yeah, we were. Watched it.
Yeah, I was
as a little kid seeing that, it was like, oh my gosh. I mean, those slow motion shots were just made for kids coming into their own.
Yeah.
You strike me more of a Hobie fan, though.
Who's Hobie?
Wasn't that?
The kid,
the
the
son?
boy.
The younger one, yeah.
It's like, I want to be like Hobie.
He was not bad looking.
He's a bodybuilder and stuff now.
They had Yasmin Bleeth, Carmen Electra,
Donna D'Errico was on there.
D'Errico, Nicole Eggert was hot at the time.
It's one of those shows, though, you didn't have to watch it to know who the people were because they were everywhere.
Yeah.
It was at one time, it was the most watched television show in the entire world.
Yeah.
Through
And for
syndication.
good reason.
Yeah, and you couldn't escape it. So you knew who the people were and you knew the basic concept and you had seen an episode because it seemed to be on everywhere all the time.
I will say it has not held up well. If you try to watch Baywatch, which I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but it has not held up. And David Hasselhoff got his own spinoff from that. Yeah. So it's Barbie Day, National Barbie Day on Saturday, I think. It's the day the first Barbie was released.
Yeah.
But in commemoration of Barbie's 65th birthday, they are releasing what they're calling icon role model Barbies, and they're based on real people. They're making a Shania Twain Barbie, a Viola Davis Barbie, a Dame Helen Mirren Barbie. Now, I don't know much about dolls and what girls are looking for in dolls, but do you want to play with a Dame Helen Mirren at
Like an old
75 years
Or
old?
do they make the young version of her?
No, she looks like an older woman.
Like in the doll?
Yeah.
I think it's more of a promotional deal. They're just doing it. I don't know that you'll be out buying that a lot. I think they just do it more as a promotional thing.
Just to hype up the fact that it's Barbie Day?
I don't think you'll be in a Walmart and see Dame Helen Mirren or Viola Davis Barbie.
Yeah, I don't know who's looking for that.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue? I mean, Kylie Minogue?
Oh, yeah.
In Europe and Australia, she's massive. She's
Still?
a massive star. Yeah, she's still a huge star.
And she whooped breast cancer, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know any Kylie.
There's no stay-at-home mom Barbie?
No.
The sacrifices for the kids?
Yeah, they're all
and
celebrities.
that?
Why not
There's
pick
no
some
celebrity really that should be a role model.
Oh, that's
Not many I can think of that are just entertainment celebrities.
Kevin Sorbo?
Here's a good one.
I knew I'd get you with that one. But those are a few things that are now trending.
So we are trying to give away $10,000. It's called The First Quarter of the Rest of Your Life. It's done through our charity Peyton's Promise. We'll update our update from earlier in the week because some things the ground is shifting underneath our feet, so to speak, and it's going to require some changes. Coming up next, hang on.
Missed part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin. Should you buy? Should you sell? How do I present my house if I do want to sell it? All of those questions can be answered by the experts, and they can take care of you with the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. The Temple team knows everything there is to know about selling, marketing, and buying houses. So get in touch with them today at acetj.com/Temple team. The Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So the numbers attached to the first quarter of the rest of your life were overwhelming. We got far more entries than we ever expected. The first quarter of the rest of your life is set up to reward someone with $10,000, provided it changes their life and the lives of others. So we began this. It's done through our charity, Peyton's Promise. And we began this at the end of January. And earlier this week, we announced we would be announcing the winner on Monday because we're conducting interviews this week for you to hear and blah, blah, blah. Well, we've had a couple of things have taken place this week just to kind of keep you updated because I know so many people had entered this contest. We've had to kind of reschedule because one person couldn't make their interview essentially due to the reason that they had applied in the first place for the first quarter of the rest of your life, and then ended up asking to no longer be considered. We've had to change some time, so here's where we are. Next week, beginning Monday, you will hear the 3 finalists for the first quarter of the rest of your life. The 3 people who are going to have a shot at $10,000. And then on Thursday, we will announce who is the winner of the $10,000 from Peyton's Promise, the winner of the first quarter of the rest of your life. It's been quite a week trying to get all this stuff scheduled and done, and then yesterday I was up here trying to interview someone and record it, and I didn't realize they were remodeling the kitchen here in the office space. And while we're trying to work, I finally said, I'm gonna have to call you tomorrow and do this.
They were ripping out cabinets and toilets. I mean, everything. Not a toilet, a sink. It's a complete destructive site.
And it's literally on the other side of the wall that's behind TJ. So, and I've been wanting to go out there and go, hey guys, I'm just trying to give away $10,000 here from a charity. Can y'all hang on for about 10 minutes? I just need to get this done.
Yeah, you know.
But I did. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a charity.
Yeah. So that's our schedule. We've had to reset due to some things that have happened this week. And like I said, one person has now asked to not be considered, even though they were a finalist. It's a terrible situation, but I wish we could tell you more about it. But that'll start Monday on the Ace and TJ show. You will meet them next week and find out who wins the $10,000 all next week on the Ace and TJ show. Who is somebody you think is hot that you are not supposed to think is hot? Gets a little weird. Next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities, and we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
We have a radio friend who we emailed different things, and he said maybe somebody can do something with this. He goes,
is it a picture of his?
No. But he said that he has a cousin who he realizes is really hot, and she's always been hot. And he mentioned it one day, and one of his coworkers pointed, you should not think that your cousin's hot. And he's like, well, you can't. He goes, I don't act on it, but you can't get over the fact that you know if somebody's attractive or not. You know if they're hot. You can say like, oh yeah, it's my cousin. My cousin's hot.
But probably choose a better word.
Yeah. Attractive, maybe.
Yeah, or pretty,
right.
Beautiful. My cousin's beautiful.
But it does beg the question, who do you think is hot, but you shouldn't think they're hot? Now, the reason you shouldn't think so is strictly up to you. You know, because we may think your reasoning is totally off. You know, is it acceptable to think that your girlfriends are, is it acceptable to think your wife's sister is really hot? Would that be somebody you shouldn't think, or is that okay? You're not doing anything about it. You're
Right.
not acting upon it.
Are you talking about it? There's a difference in
you're
thinking and talking.
In this scenario, you're just thinking about it, I guess.
Then there's nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing wrong with it then,
it,
okay?
or any of it.
Okay. All right, here's one. A guy that answered on social media said, I've got one. My wife sings in the choir at church. They have recently had several new ladies join the choir. There's one that just stands out to me as, wow, she's attractive. Just something about her that stands out to me. Can't explain it, but she just has a presence.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Is that somebody he shouldn't think is hot because she's in the church choir?
Yeah, he's lusting in church. That's not, yeah. I think that's what that would fall under the umbrella of not being right.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
I mean, those robes, though, they're sick.
Yeah. Riggins, anybody that comes to mind that you think is hot that you shouldn't think is hot? And again, the reason, totally up to you.
No.
Rob?
Not that I can think of.
Nobody?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, what about you? You got one?
I don't. Nothing came to mind, no. At the Ace TJ show.
Well, who was that? That mom that was accused of killing her child, and she got off
from Florida.
Yeah,
I can see her face. Casey Anthony. Thank you, Rob.
A lot of people thought she was hot.
I think she's pretty attractive.
You shouldn't think she was on. Yeah. Good example though.
Hey, she wasn't put in jail, was she?
No,
she was acquitted. You're right.
Found not guilty.
You don't want to get sued by Casey Anthony. That's a mess.
No, nobody says she killed the daughter. It's that she was accused of it and went to trial.
So at the Ace TJ show.
Lord knows she did it.
And be sure to tell us why. Tell us why you shouldn't think this person is hot.
I don't know.
No, I don't think you did.
No, you didn't say that.
I'm very careful with that.
You did not say that. No, we're okay.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
As a proven leader in managed IT services, CompuCom delivers innovative solutions designed for how you work today. They'll help you deliver results no matter where you are on your digital transformation journey. It's all at CompuCom. Go to CompuCom.com to find out more.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay. People you think are hot, you shouldn't think are hot. Oh, today, quick note. The new Ace and Friends podcast airs at 3 Eastern on our app. It's the Ace and TJ family app. If you don't have it, you can download it in your app store. But I think my wife is going to come today. And we can ask her. She just answered this question. I texted it to her, and she just answered this question. And well, here's her answer. Who do you think is hot that shouldn't? She goes, really nobody now, but when I was younger, it was people's dads, LOL.
Okay.
That holds true, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. It tracks.
Amanda said, Robert Irwin. He's so adorable, but so young. He was born when I was about to graduate high school.
That's Steve Irwin's
Right. Irwin's kid.
okay.
And he's nice, too. He's very nice.
Yeah, she thinks he's what, Rob?
He's only 20. He's 20 years old. It's fine.
But according to her, he was born when she's probably 38 and he's 20. She thinks that's why she shouldn't think he's hot.
Rob said, he's 20. He's fine.
And you know, in Australia, they get to do things at 18 that we don't get to do over here.
I did notice Rob's voice going, he's 20 years old.
You know, they can start drinking in Australia at 18.
He's a good-looking young boy.
I ain't putting no lifeguard up there.
Go help that kid.
I don't think I should think he's attractive, but I do.
Say, let's go to the croc rodeo.
Down under.
He's just like his daddy.
Oh, I'll wallaby around with him all the time.
One guy responded and said, my son's third grade teacher.
Oh, thank God. That was going to be my son's third grade best friend. That's
Why is that
weird.
wrong?
Yeah, well,
No, I mean not the best friend part, the teacher part.
he said it makes it difficult at the parent-teacher conference.
Why is he going to that anyway?
Right, that's mom's job.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
Men's don't need to be in on that.
My eye doctor.
What's wrong with that?
Lady said she shouldn't feel like her eye doctor is attractive. I've known him for years, and it makes me very uncomfortable when I have to see him.
Yeah. And he's all up in your face and looking. Nobody looks into your eyes more deeply than your eye doctor.
Yeah.
Got that little mirror thing strapped to his head. I'm taking a picture of him being an old school doctor.
What year
You
is
know that thing.
Gazing longingly into your eyes.
Walking in, smoking a cigarette.
She hasn't gotten a new doctor yet, so she clearly doesn't feel too bad about finding
Well,
out
yeah,
that-
she likes going. She just feels like she can't help it. He's hot. She feels like she shouldn't think he's hot.
No, you're right. You need to pray about it.
Riggins, what's coming up and now trending?
So many things. Everything you need to know coming up.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today. You could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. You know, I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com. It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics. Neogenics.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
It's National Be Heard Day. National Be Heard Day. It encourages small business to really get their name out there on social media or any way they can to help bring some attention to their business. Love that. We need more small businesses. So National Be Heard Day today.
Yeah. And I'm going to be supporting man-owned businesses all day throughout my community.
Men-owned
businesses.
Men-owned
yeah.
businesses?
Yeah, because, I mean, you got to pick. A lot of people support women-owned businesses.
Sure.
Women support that, so men should support men-owned businesses.
Okay, fair enough.
Right?
I got to find out which ones are owned by men.
Gotta do a little
Yeah,
research.
all of them but the craft stores.
Oh, no.
And
No.
some little gift shops here or there.
No.
I'm just joking, ladies. You know I'm funning you.
You can tell by the name.
It's a joke.
Sassafras, female-owned store.
I got you.
You know.
All right. You guys. Oh. Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer on the set of the Alec Baldwin vehicle Rust, was found guilty of manslaughter. So it looks like she's going to be doing about 18 months in prison for her role in the death of Elena Hutchins, who was working on the set of the movie. So her defense said that the production had run her weary and that she was too tired and she was working under harsh conditions, and that's what led to the fatal shooting. So
Was it man 1, man 2?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to sound like an attorney.
Yeah,
do an
man
attorney
one.
speak. Man 1, man 2.
I know she got 18 months, but considering the circumstances, did they put her in maximum security or does she go to a minimum security facility?
I don't know. Well, they expected her to be released from jail until her date when she had to turn herself in, but the judge said, well, no, we're going to remand you into custody right now because it resulted in somebody's death.
Yeah.
So we're going to take you to jail right now. So her parents were kind of shocked. They were in the audience for that. So it was an emotional day in court. And then tonight is the State of the Union address. President Biden will address Congress at 9 p.m. Eastern. And former President Donald Trump says that he will be on Truth Social doing a quote-unquote live play-by-play correcting anything that he thinks needs to be corrected. So quite a show tonight.
You know what I'd like to do now? I'd like to float an idea to the American people.
Okay.
That from this point forward, we know who our candidates are going to be for president of the United States. At this point, I think all campaigning should cease, and we shouldn't see, even though Biden's the president, we shouldn't have to see Biden or Trump or anybody on TV or anything until what is this, March?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with July when we begin to get to the season for the conventions.
Okay.
Like all campaign and everything should just give us a break. Let's cease a little bit.
Yeah.
And ramp it back up again in the summer.
I'm okay with that.
Throwing it out there.
Absolutely. So those are a few things that are now trending.
More next.
Missed part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help. Because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin. Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today. You could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. You know, I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay, I never was big on pranks in high school. You know, you pull the high school prank. Because, one, I cringe at the thought of property being destroyed. And a lot of times that happens with pranks. And I also don't think pranks should involve a bunch of innocent people who have to be put out. But this happened at a Kentucky high school. They started smelling gas in one area of the school. So the resource officer came in, smelled it, and said, "We got to evacuate. Let's get everybody, called the fire department in, the police and all that to help facilitate the evacuation and all." Until the fire department came in and they couldn't figure out what the smell was, but they did whatever they do to get rid of it so people could come back in. And then upon further investigation, they found that it was a chemical compound that one of the girl students had taken and poured into a couple of trash cans. And the chemical compound is non-toxic, but it's basically what she did was, it seems like she made a homemade version of fart spray. So fart spray had the whole school evacuated and the town fire department and all come out and deal with it.
She intended this just as a prank, like I'm gonna see what happens.
All I saw was the last update was that she had poured this, or allegedly it was her. I think she admitted to it that she had poured this stuff into the trash can. Now I'm assuming it was a prank, because why would you do that?
Yeah.
If it's not a prank, I mean, first of all, what kind of an intelligent mind sits around and goes, "Hey, you know what? Let's make homemade fart spray."
I can find the recipe.
Yeah, that's nothing to do. I'll do that. I'll do that in chemistry class today.
I wonder how long it took.
But then when you figure out that somebody has done a fart spray prank, do you think of that being a girl?
No, not in a million years. I go die every time on that.
But they got to stay out in the parking lot, I guess, for a while till they cleaned up. They didn't send them home for the day. They waited till everything was taken care of, and then they went back into school, which is the worst. If you're standing out there and you're just like, all right, what's going on here? You know, is it a bomb threat? Or who knows? But that's what used to happen with us. And one time it was a bomb threat when I was in middle school.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't have time to get into it now. You can see it on the crime docs.
Winfield Middle School.
Yeah. All right. So they've done a study to connect carbs to sexuality. We'll tell you what that is next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay, this is kind of a controversial study that they've done. First of all, because they denied the gays to be a part of it. So gay people were not able to be a part of this. Okay. That's the first thing. And they took 2,000 heterosexual men and women. See? We only want the heteros is what they said. Okay. I don't like that at all. So what they did was they fed them, they split them up and they fed them different types of breakfasts. And one of the breakfasts was high carbs, a lot of carbs, and the other one wasn't. And what they determined was they showed them pictures after breakfast, and that the group found that the ones who ate carbs were ugly. So basically the study says eating carbs makes you ugly because it changes the way your face looks when you're all bloated with carbs. So you see, put that donut down. So if you ugly monster, you
fat face.
But they really didn't even say. I'm assuming that they looked more bloated and all that. They just said that after the carbs, the people who ate the carbs were the ones who were given the lower facial attractiveness scores. But it doesn't say they were attractive to begin with. Because that's a good point. You can distinguish between people's sexual preferences for a study. But you can't say only pretty people, or you can't say, okay, so these heteros showed up, but you women don't make it because you're ugly. We need somebody that's decent looking to begin with to see what the results of our study will be if you lose attractiveness. You have no attractiveness to lose, so get to stepping. But they can't do that.
But are they saying even if they were ugly to begin with, they're even uglier?
Well,
they look worse after eating the carbs.
But Brother Ace, some people showed up that it wouldn't matter if they ate poop. They couldn't get any uglier than they were when they walked in the door.
Interesting.
I mean, a lot of people have reached the height of ugliness, but they just can't go no more. Can't be no uglier. It's a sad state.
I think I look my best at 10 p.m. after a plate of spaghetti and meatballs. Is that Brad Pitt over there with the spaghetti sauce on his
I've
chin?
had 10 beers and some lobster mac and cheese.
That's when I feel my hottest.
I feel pretty sexy.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm probably shirtless.
Yeah.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com. It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain, and it's possible. without surgery, without medication, without downtime, thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Hey, have y'all seen the scandalous story about Harry Markle, Prince Harry? Mm-mm. There's a woman in L.A. Who she went to Vegas one time. I think it was 2012, and she partied it up with Harry. Okay. Because he said his people came up to her in the hotel and said, "Hey, you want to go have a good time with the prince or whatever?" So she did, and she has, according to her, she has naked pictures of him. Oh. And she's never even thought about releasing them to the public and all until he full on ignored her and shamed her by not including details about her in his book. Like when he talks about, I guess he has some parts of his book where he talks about being wild and partying and all that. And he may have mentioned being in Vegas and all that, but he did not single out any time that he spent with her. So she's hurt. And she's going to show it on her OnlyFans, she said, just to pay him back for not mentioning me in his book.
And then maybe get arrested. I mean, that's not legal. You can't do that, can you?
Right. And I don't know, but is
sell pictures of somebody else naked?
Well, yeah, I guess if she does it on OnlyFans, she is receiving money for it.
That's revenge porn. That's,
but that's a good point. But that's tricky though, because you've paid for her content. You've paid to see her or whatever she provides.
You're not getting her. You're getting naked pictures of somebody else. That's unknowingly.
But she's in her 50s. You know.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And how many women 50 and up have OnlyFans accounts? Is that pretty common for older women?
I don't know.
That I don't know.
Because I only look at men's OnlyFans. Just checking out the competition. That's all. Just checking out the competition. But I don't know. It seems to me like just the threat of that would warrant a visit from the authorities and go, you can't threaten something like that. I don't know, but it's bad business.
He didn't mention me in his book.
All right.
I'm showing the world.
Here's my one chance to get recognition for all my good works. And he just ignored me. Was he ashamed? Was he ashamed? I think he was ashamed. Ashamed of me? Well, he going to be ashamed of himself. That's what's going to happen.
Like and follow.
Once I'm done with him.
And he's sitting around probably thinking, who is this person?
Well, I bet he knows. I bet he knows. He gave her his drawers. I forgot about that part.
What?
She got a pair of his drawers, she said. Yeah. Nice.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.